CPA here. Hope you're doing well. Hey, thanks for joining me. Wanted to do an overall update here, June 17th. So much going on. Let's get started with the EIDL. You probably know this, but in case you don't, EIDL opened back up for all small businesses that are eligible. If you're needing this, you need to go to SBA.gov and apply. It is the only place that you get to apply. We know that it opened back up when they replenished it, but it was limited to those that were in the agricultural, business, or industry. And what it's turning out to be is that if you went ahead and applied during that time that it was only open for the agricultural businesses, they're now processing those. And so good job in doing that. I had actually recommended that to a number of individuals. And so even the ones that got a letter from the SBA saying, we're not accepting your application because we're only doing the agricultural, boom, they are now getting processed. I have a good friend that just heard back from when he applied during that era. So we don't know how they're calculating the amounts. It appears that 150,000 will in essence be the max, but if you're needing those dollars, it's a great way to get some loan proceeds, and the payback is over 30 years, 3.75% interest rate with a 12-month deferment on payments. So get after that. The EIDL loan doesn't affect the PPP forgiveness. You want to use it for other purposes, but it doesn't affect the PPP forgiveness calculation, and it doesn't affect PUA. Now, if you got the EIDL advance up to $10,000, that will reduce down your PPP loan forgiveness. Now, I've got a bunch of playlists. Look into the body of this video for more information on the EIDL, as well as the different subjects I'm getting ready to talk about. Now, on PPP, right? The Paycheck Protection Program. I know we're focused in on forgiveness, but if you haven't gotten the PPP loan, time is running out. You only have 13 days, not just to apply, but to get it approved. So there's over $100 billion left in the pot, if you will. And where you'd want to go is to a small bank, a small credit union, and get that in. If you've been contemplating it, if you need the funds, you need to get after it. Now that we know the forgiveness calculations, check out my videos on that. You'd be able to figure out, are you just going to achieve full forgiveness anyways, especially for the self-employed based on Schedule C? Yeah, full forgiveness on that. Now, the one thing to note is that when you're getting the loan, okay, it is your 2019 information divided by 12 times 2.5. It's the payroll, the health insurance, the employer paid health insurance, or employer paid retirement plus state unemployment tax for the employers, including the owners. Take that divided by 12 times 2.5. For the self-employed Schedule C filers, which include gig workers, independent contractors, and the single member LLCs, it's your line 31 divided by 12 times 2.5, which, by the way, is now the calculation for forgiveness. So if your line 31 of what you apply for is your actual, and what you get forgiveness for is your actual, and line 31's match up for when you apply to when you get your forgiveness, 100% forgiveness. All right, hey, so with that, the IRS, we have a July 15th tax deadline coming up. So what's due July 15th? Everything. So anything that was due between April 1st and July 15th, the deadline is just simply July 15th. So for individuals specifically, July 15th is when you would need to file your extension for 2019. Also, first and second quarter estimated tax payments for 2020 are due July 15th. Now, if you need an extension, remember this, it's easy to file an extension. It's an automatic approval. However, filing an extension is only an extension of time to file. It's not an extension of time to pay. Now, if you pay in at least 90% of your tax for 2019 by July 15th, and then you file on time with your extension, meaning October 15th, then you should not have any penalties on that small margin that you may have due come October 15th. So you can file that extension, put you till October 15th. One thing to note is that the partnership returns, the S-Corp returns, those are due September 15th. Corporations, partnerships would have been extended. So July 15th is a big date. The White House is getting behind it. There seems to be a minor amount of momentum getting behind this, which is to push that date further out. Personally, I hope that will be the case. I think that we all deserve a little bit more time. We've been closed longer than we all anticipated. When they pushed this date to July 15th, everyone at the time was thinking that we would be back open by mid-April. Well, we know that there are many states that just opened up here the last couple of weeks. Some are still closed. That has put a big burden on everybody. I know the IRS, bless their hearts, has got, millions of mail that hasn't been opened. They brought their employees back, but some have had to go home. So the IRS is not immune to everything that's going on. I'm assuming they would enjoy the extra time as well. So hopefully that'll come into play. But as of right now, we still are looking down a July 15th deadline. And so if you need to put money into an IRA, HSA, anything else that was due April 15th, now it's July 15th. Nothing new there, just wanted to remind you of it. And then, boy, if you can talk to anybody that you know that'll listen, that has any kind of influence on this, we would like it to be pushed till October 15th. Also, it gives people time to pay in those taxes when they may not have them now anyways. Now, on PUA, the news related to that is there seems to be more and more information out there indicating that PPP does not affect PUA. I had a video on this where I talked about the fact that PPP is not considered income, literally not. If you don't pay it, or if you don't get it forgiven, you got to pay it back. It's a loan. It's considered a loan until it's considered forgiven. The forgiveness amount does what? It reduces down your expenses. The forgiveness amount for the self-employed based on Schedule C, not taxable income. So my wonderment is, well, is it even in effect anyways? We know the SBA guidelines indicates that getting PPP may affect your eligibility for PUA and other unemployment benefits. It seems to be that it's state by state in the determination. Some states are asking, some aren't. Some are wanting you to divide it out. Some are wanting you just to disclose it. What'll be interesting now is that, are the states going to include the updated information related to PPP for those that are getting the 24-week option? I don't think so, because quite frankly, it seems like the nation now has all processed PUA. It seems now that PUA is getting paid out. I think there's a handful of states that it's not. Here in Oklahoma, it's still not for the gig worker and self-employed. Nonetheless, check with your state, but I think there's becoming more and more of a momentum that PPP does not affect PUA. Pure opinion, you got to check with your state on that. And then a lot of videos, a lot of flurry right now on the PPP forgiveness. So I'll just touch on it really quick because I put out a number of videos today that hopefully you'll catch. Check out some links and playlists in the body of this. So really quick, there's 2 new applications that are out. The regular application has gone from 11 pages down to 5, with then only 3 pages of calculations. Really, it mirrors the original application for forgiveness. It's just been that it now includes the 24-week option. It indicates the 60%, and it includes the new safe harbors related to FTEs. So the calculation to get to forgiveness has not changed, other than 24 weeks of qualified expenses can be included. That includes your employees, 24 weeks of payroll to them. For the owner employees, it's the lesser of whatever they were paid in 2019 divided by 12 times 2.5 compared to what they're actually paid in the 24 weeks, okay? Now, for employees as well as the employers, as well as the self-employed, the maximum annualized amount that can be included is $100,000. It doesn't mean you're including $100,000 in the forgiveness calculation, but the maximum amount of compensation or net income, Schedule C, line 31, that can be included to determine the forgiveness amount is $100,000 and $100,000 per employee. We've got a number of videos on that for more information related to that. The biggest news out of all of this, the most relieving news, is for the self-employed. So well deserved here. The self-employed Schedule C filer, okay, should easily achieve full forgiveness very easily, which then that would lead to those that are now eligible to file the EZ PPP forgiveness application, which is 3 pages, which is 1 page of calculations, 1 page of certifications, and it is easy. So for the Schedule C filer, if the amount of your line 31 when you filed for the loan is actually what you filed with the IRS, and it's even, you're going to get 100% PPP forgiveness. Now, if there's a discrepancy, then you're going to owe on the difference. You're not going to get any more of a loan. But assuming they're the same, you're 100%. So I've got a number of videos related to that, especially on the self-employed. I've got a step-by-step up and who specifically qualifies for the EZ application for employers. They can use the EZ application. In essence, if they have no haircuts to their loan forgiveness related to FTE, they haven't reduced salaries for their employees, and that's employee by more than 25%, and they're not needing to take advantage of the safe harbor. The U.S. Secretary of the Treasury did indicate in a hearing last week that you can apply for forgiveness at any time. So what has come out? The new 2 applications, the instructions. You can go to my website, jjthecpahelp.com. There's no catch. You can just get the applications to look over. I've got a link to the SBA instructions. So everything's been laid out. A couple of things to note on that. One, I've not found anywhere that indicates that you have to wait a certain period of time before applying for forgiveness. Now, you do need to apply within 10 months of the end of whatever covered period that you're using. But everything else has remained the same. The qualified expenses, the definition of those are the same. The covered period and the alternative period for payroll is the same definition. It's just 24 weeks. You can, for those that got the PPP loan June 4th or before, can elect the 8-week option. I have not seen any reason or advantage that you'd want to do that, especially that you can apply for forgiveness at any time. So, boy, a lot of stuff going on this week. I'd love it if the IRS would give us more time, just from the standpoint, look at everything we've been focusing in on. And this is really just, starting mid-March, 90 days we've been dealing with, not to mention COVID and people that might have been sick, or people are not able to come to work, or they're at home taking care of kids. It has been just a ton going on related to the PPP, the EIDL, the PUA, IRS, and then the forgiveness. All right, hey, thanks for tuning in. I'd love it if you'd subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And if you made it till here, I love you. Make sure you put the thumbs up, and then don't you ever forget, you've never met a CPA quite like me. All right, hey, have a great one.
Yeah. JJ, the CPA is here.
the CPA has been serving thousands of businesses for the last 27 years. He is also a national speaker teaching CPAs across the U.S. about the latest tax laws, as well as an author and now what many call a YouTuber. Through this COVID era, JJ became a voice of calm during the pandemic, guiding countless businesses, self-employed individuals, and fellow tax pros through the PPP maze. Now, JJ is taking his know-how to help businesses that have asked for his help to rebound out of this mess that no one saw coming. He is doing this out of his own pocket, not for a fee, and to simply show the American business owner that they are not alone. JJ, America's CPA, is here to help save the entrepreneurial spirit, one business at a time.
Hi, this is JJ the CPA, and
The CPA is here, been doing this for years. We bout to get your money right, you got nothing to fear. From the burbs to the ghetto, put the pedal to the metal. I got my mind. Yeah. JJ, the CPA is here. Let's go. Yeah. JJ, the CPA is here.